Okay, so good morning, Alma. I'm back with another video. So, in the last video, we started the chapter Reproduction in Plants. So, this video is a continuation of the chapter. Okay, and in the last video, we talked about the introduction, the introductory part of the chapter, and today we are going to talk about, the detailed topic topics that are there. Okay, and the first topic that we have to cover is asexual mode of reproduction in plants. Okay, so what is asexual reproduction? So in asexual reproduction, organisms can give rise to new organisms without fusion of gametes. तो ये क्या होता है, दिस काइंड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ मोड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन जिसमें क्या होता है, विदाउट द फ्यूजन ऑफ गैमेट्स, विदाउट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ जायगोट. ठीक है, जब मेल गैमेट एंड फीमेल गैमेट व्हेन दे मीट और दे फ्यूज टुगेदर टू फॉर्म अ जायगोट, that is not in this case. Okay, that is in sexual reproduction. Okay, this one can happen without any fusion of gametes. Okay, it is like very individualistic. Okay, individualistic. Okay, sorry. So uh, yeah, so in asexual reproduction, what happens, they can produce new organisms without the fusion of gametes. Okay, because yeah, only single parent is involved, so there is no requirement of another individual, or you can say the opposite gender. Okay, so that is the asexual reproduction. Okay, next we have, okay, so this asexual reproduction, if we classify this topic, it is divided into four parts. First is vegetative propagation, and then we have budding, then we have fragmentation, and then we have spore formation. Okay, so these are the parts of this mode of reproduction. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the this first classification, which is vegetative propagation. Okay, vegetative propagation, which is like, what is the meaning of vegetative? Okay, vegetative is like something from you get the vegetation. Okay, in plants, I told you in the last class what are the vegetative parts. The parts are leaves, stems, roots, and sorry, flowers, fruits, and seeds. So these are the vegetative parts of a plant. So uh, yeah, so most plants have roots, stems, and leaves. These are called the vegetative parts of a plant. Okay, and what is the meaning of propagation here? So propagation is to spread something. Okay, spread in the sense to produce, or increase the population of. So that is called how you propagate the number of plants. Okay, vegetatively. So that is called vegetative propagation. Okay, sorry, I stammer in this word. It's like vegetative propagation. Vegetative, got it? Okay, yeah. So this type of asexual reproduction, in which new plants are produced from roots, stems, leaves, and buds. Okay, so this is the kind of reproduction we call this as vegetative propagation. Okay, so since reproduction is through the vegetative parts of the plant, it is known as vegetative propagation. So one example we have here is bryophyllum. Okay, bryophyllum. So bryophyllum is a kind of plant. We also call it as sprout leaf plant. Okay, स्प्राउट लीफ प्लांट, बिकॉज उसका जो लीफ का जो एजेस होता है, वहाँ पे क्या होता है, द लीफ ओनली हैज़ अ टेंडेंसी टू ग्रो न्यू प्लांट्स. ओके, एंड उसका मार्जिन्स पे, लाइक वी हैव अ लीफ, तो द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ लीफ इज लाइक दिस, तो उसका मार्जिन्स पे ही व्हाट इज देयर, देयर इज buds growing. Okay, and that's how new plants are formed. So if a leaf of this plant falls on a moist soil, which each bud can give rise to a new plant. Okay, तो leaves पे क्या होता है, you know, there is this thing which is I mean, I just told you the buds growing, right? And वो buds grow करके, I mean, when it is like a bit grown, so when it falls, then it can give rise to a new bryophyllum plant. Okay, so that's the first example where leaf is responsible for growth. Okay, like where leaf can give rise to new plants. Okay, next we have the roots. The roots of some plants can also give rise to new plants. Sweet potato and dahlia are examples. Okay, so roots भी क्या होता है, it can give rise to new plant. अगर roots को तुम काट के कहीं पे लगा दोगे तो it can grow, it can start growing. Okay, then we have plants such as cacti produce new plants when their parts get detached from the main plant body. Each detached part can grow into a new plant. Okay, तो कैक्टाई जो होता है, कैक्टाई और व्हाट डू यू कॉल इट, कैक्टी, ओके, कैक्टस का जो फॉर्म होता है वी कॉल इट कैक्टाई. ओके, सो ये जो प्लांट होता है, इफ यू कट दैट, ओके, इट विल गिव राइज टू अ न्यू प्लांट. या ओके, सो plants produced by vegetative propagation takes less time to grow and bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. Okay, so this is a very, I would say, a plus point in this scenario, in this type of, reproduction, or you can say this kind of, this through this process of vegetative propagation, what is happening, it is taking less time to grow. Okay, which is like a time saver. Okay, it is saving more of time. Got it? And that's how it takes less time to grow and bear flowers and fruits easy earlier than those produced from seeds. So seeds, अगर हम लोग, if you plant, if you just sow some seeds and then you wait for it to grow, as compared to this type of propagation, which is vegetative propagation, the process, or you can say the time that is being taken, and is lesser. Okay, it is growing more faster, or I would say, yeah, as compared to the, the manual mode of growing, okay, through seed, through the sowing of seeds. This mode of reproduction is more feasible, or what, like, it takes lesser time, and it's like, the production I mean the quantity will be higher, and you can grow more and more plants like this. Okay, next we have, the new plants are are the exact copies of the parent plant as they are produced from single parent. तो क्या होता है, जो न्यू प्लांट्स होते हैं वो एकदम एग्जैक्ट कॉपी होते हैं अपने, जो दिस, अपने जो ओरिजिनल पेरेंट होते हैं उससे. ओके, दे आर एग्जैक्ट ट्रू कॉपीज, जेरोक्स कॉपीज, यू कैन से. Okay, so next we come to the next mode of asexual reproduction, which is budding. Okay, so budding is, in the name only you can see there's a bud word coming, or right, the budding. So yeast is a single-celled organism. The small bud-like, bulb-like projection coming out from the yeast cell is called a bud. ठीक है, तो उसमें क्या होता है, yeast एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है उसमें. ये जो, if you see the diagram of a yeast, you will see that there is a small finger-like projection, sorry, bulb-like projection coming out of the yeast. Okay, cell, ये जो yeast cell होता है उससे क्या होता है, एक bulb-like projection बाहर निकल रहा होता है. And when it get detached from the original or the parent cell, parent yeast cell, तो फिर it can grow into a new, their own kind of like individual yeast uh, cell, right, organism. The bud gradually grows and gets detached from the parent and parent cell and forms a new yeast cell. ठीक है, so I just told you कि it gets detached and it can form a new yeast cell. Next we come, the new yeast cell grows, matures, and produces more yeast cells. Okay, and if this process continues, a large number of yeast cells are produced in a short time. Okay, so where do we use, we use the yeast thing, okay, to make, we use it in food, okay, to make it more spongy, okay, in dough, yeah, to make cakes, all of it. Okay, so yeast cell वहाँ पे use होता है. Next we have fragmentation, which is the next form of asexual reproduction. So when water and nutrients are available, algae grow and multiply rapidly by fragmentation. Okay, in this what happens, an algae or alga breaks up into two or more fragments. इसमें क्या होता है, fragments, if you see the picture of then this kind of fragmentation, you will see there's like a fragment, okay, एक stripe type of होता है, and then it is like divided into two, and then we have more, like we have two, and then it's like it just gets doubles. अगर दो है तो it will become four, then it will become how much? Four है तो कितना हो जाएगा फिर? We get eight, okay, like that. It's like getting doubled, okay. So yeah, these fragments are pieces grow or pieces grow into new individual. This process continues and they cover a larger area in a short period of time. इसलिए we call this, I mean, if you see the algae, okay, no, in rivers or ponds, okay, which is having stagnant water, so there we can just go and have a look, and then you can see that it's like a wide spread on the surface of the water. It is, spread all over the surface of the water, and that's the alga, okay. And you can, if you want to give an example of, if you want me to give an example, it's like spirogyra is the example of an alga, okay, which is uh, growing, okay. I mean, which is an example. Ferns are also, no, ferns are not example of this spore formation, I think. Yeah. So next we have the spore formation, okay. The the next a form of reproduction, okay, asexual reproduction. Sorry, I got a bit lost in something, so yeah, forgot. Just forget it, okay. So spore formation: fungi on a bread piece grow from spores which are present in the air. When spores are released, they keep floating in the air, okay. So if you see, if you, for example, if you keep a bread, okay, like a moist bread in a particular area, you will see that there will be like something greenish kind of structure, greenish, like pale green kind of structure growing on it. Okay, what is it? It is like fungi. And fungi kaise banta hai? Like, it's the spores, okay, which is present in the air, which gives rise to this fungi developing on the bread mold. Okay, the fungi on a bread piece grows from spores which are present in the air. When spores are released, they keep floating in the air. ठीक है, तो वो जो spores जब release होता है तो वो air में रहता है. Okay, it just keeps on floating. It is present in the air, and whenever it finds like a suitable environment where it can start growing, it just lands over there and it just starts germinating over there, right? So the spores are asexual reproductive bodies, okay. As they are very light, they can cover long distances, okay, and that's how they can move, okay, from to a larger to distant areas, okay. Each spore is covered by a hard protective coat to withstand unfavorable conditions such as high temperature and low humidity, okay. So they can survive for a long time, okay. So they have this inbuilt tendency of surviving for surviving, and yeah, withstanding this extreme conditions, okay. That's, like high temperature and humidity, these conditions, unfavorable conditions, and that's how they can survive in for a long time. Under favorable conditions, a spore germinates and develops into a new individual. ठीक है, तो क्या होता है? स्पोर जर्मिनेट होता है और न्यू इंडिविजुअल में न्यू इंडिविजुअल्स ग्रो. Plants such as moss and ferns also reproduce by means of spores. ठीक है, तो ये spores के help से क्या होते हैं? डेवलप करते हैं और form करते हैं, right? So we have this. If you see the figure of this spore formation, okay, reproduction through spore formation in fungus, you will see there's a sporangium. Okay, what is sporangium? An enclosure in which spores are formed. Okay, तो spores उसके अंदर होता है. After it is fully grown, it just bursts, and it just spreads in the air. Okay, and then wherever, if the favorable conditions are there, it just lands over there and it just starts germinating, and that's how the number, or you know the population of these spores keeps on multiplying. Got it? Example of it is hypha, okay. No, it's not hypha, sorry. It's the part of the spore, okay. उसका root type का कुछ structure होता है, we call it hypha. So yeah, this is the entire this topic, which is asexual reproduction. I hope you understood it, and yeah, I'm not, I don't know, I'm not feeling very great. My throat is not fine. And yeah, I'll try to upload the next video, which is going to be about asexual mode of reproduction, sorry, sexual mode of reproduction, soon, as soon as I can. Okay, so till then, just keep uh, seeing, and keep reading, and yeah, just prepare yourself for the exams. Okay, so yeah, bye, take care, see you.